Welcome back.
Love Alive 2, the hit follow-up, didn't come for 3 years, but when it did, it sold over 290,000 copies. It won a Dove Award, and it got nominated for a Grammy. Now, this was huge for the gospel community. Welcome to Lift Every Voice, a special edition of Lift Every Voice as we celebrate the life and legacy of Bishop Hawkins. Pastor Donnie, how you doing, sir?
Well, it's a different kind of feeling right now. I would say I'm doing greatly, but I would be lying. It's dealing with this, handling this whole transition that's really kind of trying us all now, you know, because Bishop Hawkins was more than iconic. He was a foundational music in our gospel music industry.
You're teared up right now. Why?
Because everything I learned about vocals and vocality I learned from Bishop Hawkins. Everything I learned, you know, as far as arrangements of musics, I've learned from Bishop Walter Hawkins. You know, Andre Crouch was my musicality, but Walter Hawkins was my vocality, you know, and it was his touch, his stylistic, his signature, that really made my music what it became, you know. So that's why I'm a little, as they say in New York, verklempt right about now.
Tell us a memorable moment.
Which one? I mean, I got like a trillion of them. A memorable moment with Bishop Hawkins, I think probably would be in 1981, when I was a 21-year-old boy standing on the front row of the Allen AME church, and he and his brother Edwin came in to sing, and he pulled me out of the audience to sing I Cried Until I Found the Lord. And we were debating in the front, and I'm saying, I can't sing that, because he was hitting the high notes. Ah, God. And I was like, I can't hit that. The music is still going. They're still playing and clapping, and I'm standing saying, I can't do it. He's saying, come on, you can do it. And I hit the note, and then we start singing together. That was one of many, one of many, you know. 84, I had my first workshop that I was doing in Ithaca, New York, at Cornell University, music workshop. I was 24 years old. They asked me to come do a workshop the night before the Hawkins were singing. And Bishop Hawkins' cousin Shirley signaled to me to come to the side door. Mm-hmm. And he met me at the side door and took me downstairs and talked to me. And so those were the things. He took those small little moments just to show, you know, that there was an interest. And that fueled my fire all the more, you know. And the memories are ongoing. And yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. This is the musical celebration taking place. In closing, how do you see him being remembered?
I don't know, and that's a hard question for me to answer, because that means I have to start dealing with him as a memory now. And he has never been a memory to me. So how do I think he'll be remembered? He was one of the most underrated and most powerful teaching brothers that you ever wanted to hear. He could teach. I'm talking about the word. He could break the word down and give you the understanding of it. Nobody really saw him except for his church members in that light. He'll be remembered as a teacher. He'll be remembered as a musician that not too many people heard play. He and his brother Daniel and his brother Ed sit at the keyboards. They were the most phenomenal bunch of brothers that could play.
Wow.
Nobody got a chance to really hear them play because they had so many great musicians playing for them. But back in the day, doggone it, back in the day, they never carried a band. It was Joel, Daniel, Edwin, and Walter. Mm-hmm. organ, piano, bass, and drums.
That's it.
That was it.
Wow.
And the family sang. So he'll be remembered mostly as the greatest gospel music songwriter that we've heard, I would say, in history.
You can tell that you had a close relationship with him, and you kind of mirrored his walk, because the same way he kind of bust into the R&B and the gospel scene, and you look at You, We Fall Down, a big song.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear it on mainstream stations all day long.
Right.
You look at your life, you're a pastor, you're a preacher. It's kind of like that mantle, like Elijah seen Elijah go up, and it's like that a mantle now. Do you feel like that mantle is being placed upon you?
Yeah, and it kind of makes me nervous, you know, in a way, because there's so many expectations that go along with it. Edwin embraces me as a brother. Carol, Fetty, and Lynette, they embrace me as brother Daniel. And I don't know why I've always had this inroad into the families, the Winans, the Hawkins. Oh my God, can I have my own? But it's really, the mantle is heavy, because I don't want to try to emulate or imitate. I want to be who God's called me to be, but I am in no wise denying the fact that that man has impacted me more than anybody else in musical history except for Andre Crouch. And he's just, the way I play the piano, the way I sing, the way I arrange music or write songs, it all comes from, you know, my experience with Walter. Walter embraced me like a brother. I was here in Oakland when he passed away, speaking, and I was on my way in a car to the house to visit, and they called and told me of his passing. And so it's a little more surreal and a little more tender for me. And there'll never be another Walter Hawkins. Donnie McClurkin could never be another Walter Hawkins. He's a monogene. He's one of a kind.
Yes. Final words.
Final words is for everybody. And Brother Corey, I pray that you would admonish everybody to pray for a church that has lost their pastor. You know, it's hard for Lynette, Edwin, and Carolyn Fetty, Daniel, Jamie, his son, his daughter Tristan, because they didn't just lose a father and a brother. You know, they lost their pastor, their covering. So pray for the family, pray for Love Center, and pray for whomever's going to take the helm. And let's just pray that the Hawkins music never falls to the ground, that it continues on.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
We're celebrating the life and the legacy of Bishop Hawkins with Donnie McClurkin. When we come back, we're going to speak with some of the giants in the music industry who has been forever changed by Bishop Walter Hawkins.
I got a chance to hear him preach many messages that changed my life. So he's a father to me. So I had to be here.
He's been a brother to me. He's been a musical inspiration to me. I patterned so much of what I do after Walter and Ed.
I would not want to miss the homegoing of someone so relevant in gospel music because I love gospel music. I was born in gospel music, and I think everybody who loves gospel music should be here to honor this great, great man.
Came to the Love Center to sing, and afterwards he grabbed me by the hand and he said, "You are just amazing." And I did not know if I should say thank you or not, because Bishop Hawkins is and was like the Michael Jackson of my era as far as Christ. I couldn't listen to Michael Jackson or Prince. You know, I was a pastor's kid, so I grew up in a holy home. We couldn't listen to R&B. So Bishop Hawkins, they were, you know, he was that alternative, and not only that, but the best option for me.